Hi, I'm Kay Pink Hoops and this is my basic foot hooping tutorial. Foot hooping is my favourite kind of hooping, and here's an example of what it's going to look like when you can do it comfortably. As with all hooping, to begin with, you may have to do a slightly more exaggerated movement to get the hoop going. You can practice this by high-fiving with your foot, going forwards and backwards at an even speed. You want to make sure that you're doing this motion from your ankle. You can practice by high-fiving your hand, making sure that you do it forcefully in an equal rhythm, moving from the ankle rather than from your leg. The next thing you want to be conscious of is the angle that your toes are pointing in. You want to imagine there's an invisible string pulling up through your toes towards the sky. If you start to point your toes out towards the wall or towards the side, that will angle the hoop down. To get the hoop onto your foot, as with passing from hand to hand, you want to take the first hand, put the second one in as close as possible, and then remove the first. If we want to do this to our foot, same thing applies. I'm going to slide my foot in as close as possible to my hand, and then remove my hand. You can do this slightly lower down if you're not as flexible, but make sure that your toes are still pointing towards the ceiling, not towards the wall. You can also pass from foot to foot. To do this, slide one foot up as close as possible to the foot that's in the hoop, and then take the first foot out. You can do this just to change feet, or you can do it if you start to drop the hoop. Looking for the gap. If I'm putting my left foot in, I'm going to wait till there's a gap on the left-hand side of the hoop. If the hoop starts to fall down, same thing applies, wait for that gap, slide your foot in and up as close as possible to your other leg. There are other ways to start the hoop on your foot. So you can do it with one hand, having a foot inside the hoop, your other foot about 1.5 inches away on the outside, keeping the hoop as horizontal as possible, and just giving a little nudge forward with the foot that's on the outside as you push it off slightly with your hand. You can also do a no-handed variation of this, keeping your legs straight, putting your hoop on your foot with your foot slightly flexed, other foot about 1.5 inches away on the outside of the hoop, and this time you're just going to nudge it backwards while you bring your leg up in a straight line. You can also do a throw to your foot, which will look like this. A few key points to get this to work. Firstly, there's the angle of the hoop. As I bring the hoop down in front of me, I want to angle it down slightly, so as I release it thumb first, it's going to angle upwards as it swings round the back of me. I want to make sure I'm bringing my thumb all the way to the back of my neck. I don't want to bring my hand up high. I want it to come nicely down low to the back of my neck, thumb pointing as far behind me as possible, and then releasing. You want to practice getting that release so you don't launch behind you but towards your feet. The key to this is not throwing it hard, just releasing gently. As I see it poke around the side of my shoulder, I'm going to bring my leg up in a straight line so I can hook the hoop. The other thing is your hip positioning. You want to make sure that your hips are pointing straight forwards, not leaning back. So straight on, release, and catch with the foot. You can also do this little finger first. So bring your little finger to the back of your neck and releasing. With this one, because you're bringing the hoop slightly more level, as you bring your leg up, you may have to bring it back slightly to hook the hoop. So I release little finger first to the back of my neck, hooking my leg backwards slightly and then straightening it up. Again, my hips are pointing straight forwards, catching the hoop on my foot. If you enjoyed this video, then please check out my other videos and subscribe to me on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, Kay Pink Hoops.